Virtual summits are the most powerful online marketing tool available to grow your list, launch your platform, make more money, and create an impact in the world, even if you're just getting started. If you are ready to take your summit to the next level, then tune into the Virtual Summit Podcast with Dr. Mark T. Wade.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark T. Wade, founder of Virtual Summit Software and creator of the One Day Summit Formula. And I'm on a mission to help you, the summit host, get your summit out to the world in a powerful and impactful way. So let's get started. Hey, Summit host, Dr. Mark T. Wade here, founder of Virtual Summit Software and your host on the Virtual Summit Podcast. And we are in for a treat today. I am so excited for this episode. We got legendary Nicole Ware with us today. Nicole, thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for letting me be on your podcast. It's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, well, I am honored, and we are going to have some fun. We've got this. I can't wait to dive into some of the strategies and techniques we've just been talking about. But before we get into those summit gems and goodies, Nicole, I'd love for you to take a moment and tell the audience just a little bit more about yourself.
Well, yes, my name is Nicole Ware, as Mark said. I run FempreneurOnline.com. I'm a virtual summit producer. I mostly work with female founders, essentially grow their lists with virtual summits. And I have been following Mark, your podcast, for a while. I've been following you. I went to the Summit Fest, which I absolutely love. So I love learning from people and helping people grow their audience with virtual summits. I love it. It's so much fun.
Well, it was an absolute pleasure having you at Summit Fest Live. We had a little bit of fun there, did we not?
It was insane. I mean, I tell people what happened. They're like, really? You did that?
Yeah. Those who know my personality know we got to have a business, but we got to have a little fun too. So
yeah,
I'm glad you were there, and looking forward to seeing you at the next one once we're all out of the house. That'll be great. And maybe even having you teach some of the sessions there. So
hey, you never know, right?
You never know. Well, Nicole, you've got some pretty cool stuff going on over here. Why don't we start with kind of your journey? You've got the Fempreneur, and you're helping people as a summit producer. Kind of walk through a little bit of what you do, kind of your summit quote unquote philosophy, if you will, and what you're doing over there.
Yeah. So essentially my philosophy on summits is really about growing your business to new heights with the engagement and collaborations that you get with your speakers. I'm all about collaborating. I'm all about really kind of making awesome content with someone who, maybe know a little bit more about something than you do, but really engaging, asking the questions that you have. So being very curious and asking questions that you may have to the speaker, and just really creating interviews and engaging with your speaker in the best way possible to get the best content, to get the most knowledge out of your interaction with them. So my philosophy, again, it's really about the collaboration. It's about knowledge growing your knowledge with someone else who's an expert in that field.
I love that. And what is a summit? It's sessions with speakers. So we have to have some great content coming from those speakers. Absolutely important there. So Nicole, with your kind of strategy, if you will, or one of your special, unique aspects of what you do with your summits and your clients, let's jump into that because it's a pretty interesting one. Let's talk about the Facebook engagement strategy.
Yeah. So I did this with a client of mine, Tasha, Beautiful Home, Beautiful Life. And it was an amazing summit. It featured 30 plus speakers. It was about home decor organization, which is very different than a lot of summits out there. A lot of summits are either business or, those sort of things. But it really kind of brought together just real people trying to do organization. And we wanted to come up with something engaging with that group of people. And it was obviously Facebook in a Facebook group. And we brought together in a matter of a week about 6,000 people. Now, the entire total attendance was a lot more, but 6,000 people in a Facebook group in a week is pretty cool. And not only that, they were super engaged. That's what made me so excited about it. And if I could just start, with the launch party and kind of how we did going up to the actual summit, we had what we called a launch party. So the day before the actual summit went live, we had the host in there. She went live. It was super engaging, fun. She was talking to everybody. We made a big to-do about it. Hey, we're giving away prizes. Make sure you're there. And it was pretty much her explaining what the week was going to be about, answering questions, but then again, giving a little bit of content too, give them a little bit of taste of what the week was going to be about. It was actually pretty cool, and people set their clock by it. I think she was maybe like two minutes late or something. People are like, is it happening? What's going on? But it builds that anticipation for the actual event, having that summit lunch party. And again, when you have 6,000 people like in a group at once, they're excited about whatever it is that you are about to do.
Virtual Summit's software makes hosting a summit easier than ever. The only software in the world designed specifically for hosting a summit lets you set up a summit in a matter of hours with no tech skill or team needed. You can try out the Virtual Summit's software free at virtualsummits.com. But hurry, this is a limited offer.
That is amazing. I love that. So to clarify then here, the launch party, this was with the attendees. So there were 6,000 people waiting to get into the group, and then they hit go, and then boom, you got this big party happening.
Absolutely. So, we open it up. So it was almost like dumping a bunch of people out into the group. And not only that, Facebook was like, what's going on? They started to just promote the group. And in promoting the group, you're promoting your summit. So if people get in the actual group, they're now like, what is the summit? They're interested in that. So getting a bunch of people interested in the Facebook group, pushing them there, having them wait, and building anticipation, dumping them in, I hate to say dumping them, but dumping them in the group and then saying, hey, let's have a party. That's exactly what the strategy was all about.
Love that. That is so cool. Well, let's keep moving forward with the strategy. So obviously engagement was the name of the game. You kicked it off with this launch party. What else did you do? What other kind of strategies or actions did you do with the group, or even outside the group for engagement?
Well, we absolutely encourage speakers to get in there. We wanted speakers to start posting things. So post things about themselves, maybe introduce themselves. You'd be surprised by how just seeing a speaker in a group, they're almost like a celebrity to a lot of the attendees. They were so excited about hearing from them, and they would ask a question thinking one of us would respond, and here's the speaker themselves. Someone, Jennifer Maker, she's like a huge person in the crafts right now, and having her say something to an attendee, they went, I can't believe you replied to me. It's really cool having your speakers really get involved in the group, asking questions. Even some of them are doing, honestly, market research. What would you like? Would you like this or this? And that's actually really a benefit for a speaker to be able to get that interaction with people who are engaging with their session.
I love this. So let's talk about the market research. Give us an example of one of these ideas, and what's the point of it?
Well, so for instance, one of my friends, Megan, she does productivity. She asked a question, what is challenging for you, with organization? And she got, honestly, probably about 50 responses. So if you are a productivity coach and now you're in a group that's interacting with you, not only that, but then they're also going and watching your video. So your video views as a speaker, your video views are going up. As a host, you're excited because, again, your video views are going up. People are engaging in your content. But then you're using that research, which she did use that research for another course that she ended up doing on the back end. It's the market research for speakers alone, and it's, really great info for the hosts as well, but you're able to then have future products. So it really helps not only the host, but the speakers as well.
This is incredible. If you're trying to get information, even for a host, sitting there watching the information coming back, for a host, this is great too, because the more engaged the audience, the better the summit. So how did you convince or talk to your speakers about this? Or was this just something they naturally did? Or how did you kind of, guide them into actually being involved and engaged in the group to create this?
Honestly, it was really natural. I think one or two got in there and just kind of introduced themselves. And I think they were kind of timid to do it. And then we went into the speaker Facebook group, because we did have a speaker Facebook group where we can engage with them. And we told them, go in that group, ask questions, engage with them. They are hungry to have you. They are hungry to learn things from you. They want that interaction with you, because in the beginning, it really was interaction between the host and the attendees and the Facebook manager and the attendees. And then once the speakers got in there, it really kind of exploded. So definitely it was organic, but then it was also a little bit of a push, like, hey, go in there and involve yourself. And a lot of them were super excited to do that.
That is amazing. I mean, having speakers engaged like that, that's only going to increase the engagement of the audience, which increases the overall success of the summit. I'm loving this. Well, let's keep talking this strategy that you use for engagement. What other aspects did you incorporate throughout the summit or in the group, either one?
Yeah. So I will say this, there's nothing like a good giveaway. People love themselves some free. So if you come in with some great products that very closely align with what you are talking about in your sessions, it really works out well. So for this particular summit, obviously it was an organization summit, we had gift cards to the Container Store. Hello, everyone loves a Container Store. So having them, give us these gift cards to participate in the summit, people were, we had posts. So my Facebook community manager, she literally had posts that said, I want you to post a picture of your closet just as it is. And then I want you to go in there and tell me what you want to do to your closet. People were like, oh, let me, for a gift card, it was like $100. We are going to absolutely show you our closet in disarray. And they were long posts. I mean, people were putting long posts. People were interacting with each other's posts. Like, man, your closet looks great compared to mine. And they would post a picture of their closet. So having not only just these giveaways, but also having people post in the group surrounding the giveaway, like, what would you do with this giveaway? How would this change your life? And you'd be surprised. I mean, a lot of people, it became a little bit more emotional than I thought it was going to be, especially in the posts and the people talking to each other about the situation. It really became even, beyond the giveaway, but it does boost the engagement quite a bit if you can have a few select products to give away, very closely related to the session.
Be sure to check out the speaker management tool inside your virtual summit software, which lets you quickly and easily recruit and manage your speakers on your virtual summit, literally eliminating hundreds of hours of work. Get more information at virtualsummits.com.
Well, let's dive into that a little bit. What was a couple, maybe one or two things that you actually gave away? Was it just like gift cards or products? And is this again to the audience, the attendees, or to the speakers?
To the attendees. So we gave away several gift cards, so about 10 Container Store gift cards. We gave away like $500 for Target gift card. We also gave away, we had an amazing partner who actually gave us a suite of Hoover products. So vacuum cleaners and a carpet cleaner, but it was actually a whole package. So about two people got I think they not stole, but they went away with $1,000 worth of products, of actual products to clean their home, organize their home. So actual physical products, I mean, that's insane. If you can give those things away and not just gift cards, it makes it even more of an extraordinary gift from people.
This is just, I mean, it's so powerful. And you got people they're going to be more engaged and paying more attention because they're hoping to get one of those gifts. And I love the gift cards because they're easy, they're quick. And it sounds like you were making sure that the gift that was being given away was right on point with the audience, which is super important. And on top of that, like you just said, a physical gift, I mean, that's phenomenal. People are going to be so super excited for that. And I love that you mentioned you had a partner that helped with that. So this is a great idea for people that have sponsors. What what could your sponsor donate or give away, even just as a one-off? It doesn't have to be for every attendee. So amazing there. Well, Nicole,
Yeah.
let's keep digging into these strategies. So you use this this kind of giveaway and for market research as well as engagement. This was with the audience, with the speakers. You had a separate speaker group that you're going into and communicating. Did you have any kind of special way of kind of amping up the speakers or keeping them in the know from the day to day? How did you kind of pump up those speakers?
Well, we would talk to them a little bit more about what was going on in the group, what was the climate. So we would say stuff like, hey, they're really interested in this particular subject. So they're really interested in organizing. Can somebody go in there and talk about this a little bit more? We would send them screenshots of some of the comments we were getting in the Facebook group. I mean, like, people, their lives were actually being impacted. Like, we're so happy this is happening. We love this speaker. We'd love sending those little messages. It's like, we love this speaker, and that speaker would be like, oh, and they would engage more because, to see a Facebook post that directly names you and names your session and what they got out of it. I mean, point by point by point, it gets that speaker who especially they're talking about, super excited. And then also it reminds them, hey, people are really listening to these sessions. It's not just something that you did and then, it's over. We really want you to go in there and engage with the audience, and they're super invested in you. So go in there, because here's these great comments. Go in there and let them know that you appreciate it. So
that is so good. Just letting the speakers know inside of the group. I think that right there, almost not even being like, hey, you have to go post, but like, hey, they're really wanting to learn about this. And the speaker's like, well, I want my name out there. I'll jump in. Let me talk about that. I kind of like that. You're almost using a little bit of reverse psychology right there. By not being like, hey, Samantha, you have to go in and post this, or you should go in and post it. So I really like that. And then, of course, the social proof by putting the screen captures there. That is just great. Well, let's keep going, because this wasn't the only activities that you had on this. You had I believe a scavenger hunt of sorts, right? Like, talk us through that strategy that you've used.
So for a scavenger hunt, it was again more about engagement. Some of them were about giveaways, but it really was more about the engagement piece of it. So meaning, for instance, go in your house and find a junkie drawer and tell us what that junkie drawer means to you. Now, again, most people who are listening probably like, well, this is home decor. How does that fit with me? But you can always say, especially if it's like business or home office, take a picture of your home office and discuss what your home office means to you. What do you want to change? You'll be surprised by all of the, emotions and feelings that people will start to share. And not only share, but engage with each other. I totally feel that way just from a scavenger hunt. Show me your junkie drawer. It turns into almost like a little bit of a therapy session for the group. And when they see that it's okay to share, it's okay to put, pictures of their belongings and things that matter to them. It's super important. One scavenger hunt thing, we had them post a picture of your favorite chair. All the stories that came just from post your picture of your favorite chair, find this, find that in your house. It was actually really powerful. And I think improved engagement, not only engagement, but emotional attachment to the group. People became very much more emotionally attached to the group when they start sharing things about themselves.
That is 1,000% correct. I mean, if you can get an attendee to take an action, it's kind of like whether there's a psychological trigger called the foot and door method. So if you can get them to do one action, it gets them more engaged, and then they're more open to doing the next action. Now, if you can get them to take a big action like that of posting something, I mean, this affects them in multiple ways. One, they feel like they belong. They're a part of it. Like, they're actually participating. And some of our summit hosts right now might be thinking, well, not everybody's going to put, post this or do that, and that's okay. The ones who do are going to be your most engaged and qualified, your audience. But then additionally, not only are they more engaged, but when they're seeing, like, they've taken an action, they see somebody else take that same action, and now they're contributing or commenting back and forth. They're now creating community. And that is so, so powerful. I love that. Any other kind of factors, maybe things that with these strategies that you learn, maybe any kind of mistakes or challenges or friction points that you had to overcome when creating these engagement strategies?
Well, for sure, you have to be on the lookout for people that's going to come in the group and want to try to sell themselves. I'm not talking about speakers. I'm just talking about other people, which was funny because the community, oh, they called it out very quickly. I can't tell you how many posts, oh, this is this is not appropriate posts that I got for people trying to sell themselves. So you got to be on the lookout for that. And again, my community took care of it. So that's why I love the fact that the community bonded so quickly. I would also say that you have to be on the lookout for people who don't necessarily read. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but people who ask the same question. So having a blanketed answer for frequently asked questions is super important. You can't expect people to go to your email and read it, or even just look at the thread. You have to answer every question, and it should really be a set answer for every time they ask the same question. And then also having a dedicated community manager helped us out with those issues. So Taryn, who's my Facebook community manager, she went in every single day and engaged with as many people, but it came overwhelming where so many people engaging. But, she definitely went in and answered every single question she possibly could. So I would absolutely recommend, if you don't have one with a large group like that, you should.
With the Ever Summit feature inside the Virtual Summit software, you can rerun your summit as if it were live, ongoing forever with one click of a button. This now lets you continue to use your summit forever, bringing in qualified and engaged leads every month into your business. Get more information at virtualsummit.com.
I can only imagine. I mean, that could be overwhelmed. 6,000 people right in there communicating, engaging. That's just incredible. Well, we're starting to come on the back end of this episode, Nicole. I want to jump into kind of any additional let's even paint it like this. You've obviously spent a lot of time learning, studying, and producing summits. What's something that you've been seeing, that you've seen out there in the summit world that maybe summit hosts aren't doing correct, or that we should be improving?
Ooh, okay. So I've seen this trend where people are requiring certain things, like you're required to have this many email subscribers, you're required to promote this much. And I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it's really sounding, what's the word? I don't want to say sleazy. I don't know. Like it's sounding a little nerve-wracking. It's also when people are not pitching to that particular speaker, like for that speaker. They are doing blanketed emails to their speakers. It's nothing that is catered to that speaker. It's really getting sleazy with that. And I caution you to do blanketed emails. I caution you not to put all these requirements on your speakers, because you really want it to be an organic collaboration, organic relationship. Build up that trust between you and the speaker, and they will promote for you. They will, do everything that you like for them to do. Build up that trust. And that's what the summit that I did was about. My host was incredibly close, and not completely close, but she knew, they trusted her. She trusted them. If they wanted to promote, they would. And most of them did. So, be a little bit more cautious in how you guys are approaching your speakers. Be a little bit more cautious in what you're requiring. I think that's my big thing right now for hosts.
It is so true, and it's so important. We're seeing this out there, and those are usually falling into that kind of list grabber category, right? They're
Yeah,
just hoping
absolutely.
to scrape those lists of those speakers. So don't be one of those list grabbers. Any kind of other insights for our summit hosts? Things you've seen when you were working with other summit hosts? Maybe misconceptions or advice you would want to give them as they're getting ready to start their summit journey.
It's okay to not do everything in a month. Especially now, I'm seeing a lot of hosts who are, I'm going to do a summit. It's going to be ready in a month. Be very careful with your timing. I know most people teach at least 90 days. Really be careful with your timing. It's okay for it to be 3 months. It's okay for that process. Give yourself time. Don't rush the process. Do not rush the process. You want the best results for you and for your speakers. Always think about your speakers as well. You want the best results for everyone. So don't rush this process at all.
So true. Such powerful advice right there. Hopefully everybody is not only listening to that, but writing that down. And I'm sure they're also thinking, Mark, where is Nicole hanging out at? How can I get in touch with her? So why don't you share the best way to get in touch with you, Nicole, and where you're hanging out at?
Well, fempreneuronline.com is my website. And also IG, Fempreneur Online, is my handle. So you can get me at either one of those places.
Absolutely. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for being here. I will let you leave us with one parting piece of wisdom.
Let's see, parting piece of wisdom. I want you to treat your summit like it is I want you to treat your summit like it's in a very, excuse me. I want you to, I'm sorry, Mark. I want you to treat your summit as a launch pad for your business. I want you guys to use your summit to impact. There it is. I want you to use your summit to impact your audience and give them massive value.
So true. So powerful right there. Use that summit to impact that audience and create value. And it's one of the most powerful ways, Nicole. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing all these amazing summit gems and goodies with us. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Mark.
And thank you, all you Summit hosts, for spending this time with Nicole and I. I'm Dr. Mark T. Wade, your host here on the Virtual Summit Podcast. You can check out all of these amazing goodies and get access to Nicole over at the show notes at podcast.virtualsummits.com/163. And just remember, your message matters. So go out there and make an impact in the world, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening. Now don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review on the Virtual Summit Podcast. Head over to the show notes to check out all the links and resources from this episode, and be sure to grab your free trial of the Virtual Summit software.
Now, I want to end this episode by saying to all the Summit hosts listening right now, I believe in you, and you can do this. Summits are by far one of the most powerful ways to quickly grow your list, launch your platform, make more money, and most importantly, make an impact in the world, even if you're just getting started. So don't get caught up in analysis paralysis, because the world needs to hear your message, and there are people who are waiting for you to help them. So just get started, because imperfect action is always better than no action. Thank you, and see you on the next episode.